Hi, I'm live. Okay, so here I am. All right, so I got no one on. Okay, I'll wait a minute. I'm gonna wait a minute for people to pop on. I got somebody on here. Let me know who it is. Maybe it's Kate. Maybe it's my mother-in-law. Maybe it's my mom. All right, so tonight I'm doing yoga with wine because why not? Be happy, do yoga. I'm happy when I drink wine. So, all right, a couple things for tonight though. If you're all ready, grab as many pillows, blankets. I'm a big fan of grabbing couch cushions, like throw pillows from the couch. They're the best thing right now that you can use. So, grabbed a bunch of these. Also, tonight, I'm not starting yet. So if you haven't already, if you don't have something, I want you to grab something this is the handle, the tie strap to my robe. But grab something pretty long enough that you could stretch it out. You can grab a bath towel. You can grab an old tie. You can grab, like I said, I grabbed the wrap around my robe. But grab something that will serve as a strap-ish. You can even grab a belt as long as it's not too hard and rigid. So hang on just a second. I have a couple people still looking for the link. So we'll get started in about 2 minutes. Okay, let's see. There's Kate. Hi, Kate. Okay, Kate. So I was just saying, whoever else is on here, grab your. I've got 4 pillows, couch. So grab whatever you need. I also have a block. If you have a block, that's great. I only have one, so I don't know how handy one block is in a restore class. Also, grab something that you could use for a strap. So, like I said, this is the I don't know. My rope. I keep saying rope. It's for my robe. The waistline for my robe. But grab something. Oh, I got somebody else popped on. So glad you're here. Got a couple more people popping on. I'm going to wait about another minute or so to see who pops on. And also to let everybody, if you didn't hear, another general PSA, grab something like this, like a strap. And you can use an old tie. You can use a bath towel. This is my robe thingy that goes around the waist. I want you to be as comfortable as possible. So here's my mat, and then I got tons and tons and tons of pillows. Basically, yin yoga, restore yoga, it's all about comfort, serenity. So do that. If anybody has any requests for like shoulders, neck, hips, thighs, hamstrings, give me a quick chat in the comments. Otherwise, we're going to get started. I'm going to send the link to another friend of mine and then be right back. Okay. Whoever is here, hi, I'm glad you're here. Oh, all right. Hi, Bethany, you're on. Okay, so if you didn't hear the PSA, last thing, pillows. Long strappy thingy, and we are going to get started. So I don't normally start standing, and I don't normally do a whole lot standing, but we are going to stand today just to get started, and then no more standing at all. Then we'll be on our mat the whole time. But so to get started, we're going to start in ragdoll. So ragdoll is kind of just how it sounds. So find a nice spot. I want you to make sure that your feet are actually a little bit wider than your hips. So you're kind of making a V shape in your hips. And then I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. As I lower down into ragdoll, I actually bend my knees a lot. And I want you to find the connection between your set of bottom ribs here and the tops of your thighs. So bend your knees as much as you need to find that connection. And then relax your shoulders, relax the crown of your head down. And then we're going to be here for maybe a minute and a half. Number one, because I don't want anyone getting lightheaded while you are having your head down. But just to kind of feel the stretch, basically I want you to, especially I've noticed being stuck in quarantine, my low back needs a lot of extra love. So this is a great way, especially when you bend your knees and find that connection, and then lift through your glutes. Lift your glutes up to the top of your space, your ceiling, your sky, wherever you are. You can feel that stretch all the way along your spine and your low back, and then in your hamstrings. So we're going to do that. And again, if you have any other requests for anything, let me know. I am just making sure that everybody's got the link if they want it. So continue to hang low. It's a perfect opportunity right now to kind of using this opportunity to kind of release anything from the day, release anything from your Monday. So if you were having trouble jumping back into your Monday, I know today my kids, they eventually got around to their Monday, but it just took a little bit longer than normal for them to just get around to it, get used to back to the bump and grind of what Monday is. So maybe you just let all of that junkus from Monday go. Shake your head, yes or no. Move slow. Maybe you switch your weight from one leg and then another. Bend your knees. And then wherever you are, you're in ragdoll right now. I want you to bring your feet closer together so they're about hip width distance apart. Inhale and just lift halfway. So when you're lifting halfway, squeeze your shoulder blades together a lot so your spine is nice and long. Place your hands somewhere on your legs. Try and avoid pushing on your back, on your knees though, so you don't want to hyperextend through your knees. Again, we're feeling that stretch in our hamstrings and our low back especially. Squeeze your shoulder blades together a lot. Just take some deep breaths in and out. Wherever you are, one more big breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raise all the way up to standing. I promise this is the last standing that we're going to do. Bring your hands together at heart center. Just stand really tall. So now draw your belly button into your spine. So you're standing really tall, your belly button's in this way. You're nice and long, so your hips stack over your ankles, shoulders stack over your hips. Shut your eyes down right now. As you're standing here. Right now, allow this to be your 1 hour of your day that you can set aside just for you. where you forget about everything else that's going on. A term that gets thrown around a lot is self-care. Use this as your self-care hour if need be. So wherever you are, release your hands down to your sides. Take a big breath in. Exhale, let it go. I want you to make your way all the way down to your mat. So maybe you just walk your hands slowly down your legs. Walk your hands down to your mat. Come forward. And then find a comfy seat right here on your mat. So this is a comfy seat for me. So I'm sitting on my heels. So if you have a pillow, maybe sitting on a pillow is more comfy for you, and that's great. Maybe sitting on your sits bones with your legs sitting across. That's great too. Just breathe. The goal here is to sit up super duper duper tall. So lift the crown of your head up toward the ceiling. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Relax down your spine. So imagine yourself. So lately I have had, it's been so beautiful outside this weekend and today. And since we've had a whole lot of time to just sit at home and do a whole lot of nothing, I've been doing a lot of weeding in the garden, which normally I don't have a lot of time to do this time of year. So we're on a budget, so I don't necessarily have the time to mulch and all that good stuff, but at least I'm getting all the weeds out. Here's what I've noticed. There's these little tiny weeds where we are with the little purple flowers. Those can just like pop out really easy. I don't know the name of them. I don't care to know because I just want to get them out of my garden. But dandelions, man, those dandelions, they're like, Kate, I know you're listening. They're the bane of my existence, those dandelions. They are so deep. Their roots go so deep into the ground. And it's not like a broadleaf where it's just the roots are right there on top. It is one long root. Like it reminds me of a carrot. And they are so hard to get the whole entirety of the root if you're going to pull them by hand. So hard, almost impossible. And they are so like one tiny little dandelion, that root is like 3 times the length of that darn plant. So as you're sitting here on your mat, I want you to think of yourself as you sink into your mat, whether you're sinking in with your glutes, whether you're laying on your back. I want you to think of yourself like a dandelion. Okay, they're not the best, they're not the prettiest, whatever. My kids are obsessed with blowing and spreading them all over the place. But think of yourself being rooted. You are so solid on your mat that you're not going to go anywhere. You're so solid in your space. And so whatever storms arise, whatever pops up, no matter how cold it is, no matter how windy it gets, no matter how hot it is, no matter how much rain we have or haven't had, those suckers, they still are there because they are so deep in the ground and they're resilient. And that's what I want you to think about today. How resilient are you? How tough are you? But at the same time, you have enough softness to show up exactly where you are with a little pretty yellow flower, just like a dandelion. The sweetest gift that you can ever give is when a kid brings you a dandelion flower, whether they from recess if you're a teacher or they've been playing outside. It's the best. So think about this, the beauty in that as you think about being rooted softly like a dandelion flower. And then when you're ready, take a big breath in. Exhale, let it go. And grab, if you haven't got one already, I'm going to give you a second. I want you to grab your strap. Maybe it's a hand towel, maybe it's a bath towel, my robe, straw, string, whatever it is. But I want you to reach with your strap in your hand and bring your arms up overhead and kind of out wider than your shoulders. So I'm kind of making a Y here. Inhale. And then exhale. Draw your right hand down toward the earth. Stay strong in your spine. And you'll find that sweet spot as you lower down right here. Relax your shoulders. Don't force it. So if you go down pretty far and you're like, oh, ouch, that hurts. You don't want to hurt it. You just want to feel this stretch through your back and your shoulder blades as you're twisting and lowering down. Just a gentle side stretch. Again, restore yoga or yin yoga. I even felt that just in that half time that I was there, I felt that through my shoulder blades and my back. So this is about comfort. Never, ever, ever about pain. So don't ever push yourself into a place where you are in pain. Sure, you'll be in discomfort. Sure, you might stretch the limits of your muscles and you might find your edge. Like, okay, that's where my body wants me to stop. That's great. And it might be a little slightly uncomfortable as you find a new edge, but never, never, never painful. So keep breathing. We'll be here for about another 30 seconds longer or so. I just want you to stretch out through your shoulders and your neck. I know a lot of us somebody popped on. Oh, it's just my in-laws. Hi, Stewarts. I know a lot of us are sitting all day long, sitting more than we normally do. I am sitting way more now than I ever have. Just breathe. Relax your left shoulder as you draw your right hand down. Take one more big breath in. Exhale, find one last stretch. And then inhale, come back up to center with your hands still holding. If you need to, wind your shoulders forward and back. Open up your arms. Inhale here. And then exhale, slowly lower down toward your left side now. So now your left arm is doing your work. A great example, and I apologize for not showing it on the other side. An option here, I've got my pillows, and I'm just going to use those to relax my left arm on, especially since my left hand's definitely not going all the way down to the ground. So let your props, basically your props are what are going to bring the earth, especially your pillows or your blankets, they're going to bring the earth closer to you, which is what you're looking to do in this case when you can't go all the way down to your mat. So, and I've got wine tonight. I had hot tea the other night. I had wine tonight. It's Monday. I needed wine. We'll be here for about another minute or so. Again, find that sweet spot and know that you don't have to be completely stagnant in this position. Maybe you found something and you've worked that spot out, and then you lift your rib cage just slightly and find something else that feels good where it's getting stretched out. Maybe you add just a little twist and open up through your right shoulder and feel something there that you didn't know that was there. Just breathe. If you have any relaxing music, put that on. I am a huge fan of peaceful piano music or cello music. And again, imagine yourself as your eyes are closed, rooted down into your mat like your dandelion. Super heavy, but yet soft. And just like a dandelion can move in the wind, so can you, so you're not stuck somewhere. Take one more big breath in. Exhale, find one more final stretch to the side. Inhale, come on back up. Now, listen to your body. And this next one that we're going to work, I want you to open up through your shoulders. So it depends on how open your shoulders are, about how far you can go back. Also, feel free to take a wider grip on your strap. See, thing to remember here is you want to sit up super tall. So it's not going to work if you're rounded shoulders. Sit up tall and open up. So from The front view, it looks like this. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. If it's accessible in your body and you can lower your hands all the way down, that's fine too. You want to keep them halfway or even maybe just above your shoulders. It's your choice. Again, yoga is so personal, especially Restore Yoga. No one looks the same, and that's okay. So you're honoring what your body feels like and what your body wants to do in these poses. It's a big heart opening pose. You're really shining your chest forward, really lengthening your spine. Wherever you are, exhale. Inhale, bring your hands up over your head. And then exhale, set your strap down long in front of you. We're gonna come onto our back now. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. Again, grab any blocks or pillows, anything that you might deem handy right now as you lower down. We're going to twist. So I want to get into our midsection. And I do this almost every single class. So extend your left leg long. Keep your right knee bent and then draw your right knee across your body. And then if you need to, grab your pillows, whatever you need, and set your right knee on your space and make sure that both shoulder blades are heavy on your mat. Now here is an option if you would like a deeper sensation through I'm going to turn to the other side so you can see it. So I've got my right leg across my body. And since we've got our strap here, we can utilize it. If you'd like, you can bend your left knee, wrap your strap around the top of your left foot, and draw your left foot closer to your left glute. So this pose is called cat pulling its tail. If you'd like to think about it, Bethany, Kate, I know you guys are probably pros at thinking about this right now, but that's what this pose is. So now you're getting a stretch not only through your midsection here, through your obliques, through your lats and your back, your shoulders, but you're also, if you want to bend your left knee up towards your glutes, it's a nice deep stretch in your left quad. Wherever you are, settle in, know that you're going to be here for about 3 more minutes. And maybe you've got a hold of your left foot and it's up by your glute, and maybe it gets too intense. Great opportunity to ease up. But maybe it's not so intense that you want to ease up. Maybe it's just intense in the sense that you need to send your awareness to your left thigh. Send your breath to your left thigh. Send your energy to your left thigh. And almost as though you're feeling your body getting longer, getting more flexible. You're loosening up all the junk. You're clearing the clutter around your space in your garden. You're able to weed and pull out all the leaves and all of the weeds that have their roots right there on the surface. But since you've got a nice strong base, you're firmly planted. I'm just going to turn the lights on so we can see. There we go. You've got about another 2 minutes here. Maybe if your neck wants a little bit more, you can shift your gaze in the opposite direction of your right knee. If you tried that and then you think, oh, nope, my neck doesn't want that, that's fine. You can look straight ahead. You can look off to your left in the direction of your right knee. You can play around with it. What I would encourage you to do, though, wherever your head moves, is to keep your eyelids heavy. So your gaze is for you just to gain a focal point in your movements. Try and shut your eyes down. Try and bring your awareness to just what's going on within the four corners of your mat. You've got about 30 more seconds here. We're going to switch sides. So when you're ready, take your time, draw your right knee back up to center, and then extend your right leg long. And then have your left knee come into a bend. And then when you're ready, gently drape your left knee across your body. I like to stack my hips so they're on top of one another. And then I've got my pillow over here so my left knee can rest. And then again, feel it in your body. Every side's different. Maybe your right leg is less flexible than your left. Maybe it's more. I have to use a strap on my right side. That's fine. And then maybe you can find that you are holding your strap. And then after you're here for a while in this pose, like, oh wait, I've got a little bit more room. I've cleared some stuff out. That's fine too. That's the beauty of Yin Yoga, of Restore Yoga, is that we're here in these poses long enough that you are giving your body time to adapt to them, to loosen up, to get used to them. So the first minute you're just kind of settling in, just kind of your body's getting used to being all in the pose that it's in. In this case, kind of being used to being a little pretzel. But then for the next 3 minutes after that, that's where the growth really happens. So you've got about 2.5 more minutes. And again, I encourage you to keep your eyelids heavy, to encourage you to find a nice quiet space in your house, which I think everybody that's on here, except for maybe one, like their whole house is always nice and quiet. Mine is not. So I encourage you to find that. I think Bethany and I are about the only two that don't have nice, quiet houses all the time. So, but if you do have that space right now where you've just set aside your little corner of the world, where you can relax, got about another 1.5 minutes here. Again, make sure both of your shoulder blades are heavy on your mat. And maybe this time you use this opportunity to see if your right heel can go a little bit closer to your glute. Maybe it can't, and that's fine. Maybe you found your edge and you want to stay there. Maybe you found a new edge now sitting here. That's cool too. When you're ready, slowly bring your left knee back to center. Slowly extend your left arm and your right arm. Bring both knees together. Give yourself a squeeze. Pull your knees into your chest. Hug it in tight. And I want you to flip over onto your belly. So if you're on your back, come down to your belly. And we're going to take Sphinx pose just because I think Sphinx pose is so good for your spine. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can see this. So I like to bring my big toes to touch. If it's accessible in your low back, bring your big toes to touch. So I line my shoulders and my elbows in line with one another, and then I have my arms long. So we're going to be here for about 3 minutes. Here is something that we would normally do in our restore classes is grab some blocks or some props. So I encourage you to do this if you would like to relax your neck, is bring some pillows and just stick your forehead. Kind of settle down. If you start to feel this at all in your low back, right here, and it feels like almost like you're going too deep and you're causing pain in your low back, I want you to draw your pelvis, your pubic bone straight down, and then kind of squeeze your glutes and your hamstrings. So this will allow you to take the pressure off your midsection, kind of neutralize your spine a little bit. And you can adjust how high or how low you are with your neck, how open you are. We're going to be here again. See, we've been here for a minute right now. It's about 2 more minutes. Remember to draw your shoulders away from your ears. About another 30 seconds here or so. Just keep breathing in and out. Whatever you do here in the back of your neck, I just want you to avoid having wrinkles in the back of your neck. So just keep your spine long. If you're in Sphinx pose and your neck is lifted like this, I want you to find, maybe you extend your arms long, but I want you to find that spot where you can have a nice long back of your neck. So what I want you to avoid is to looking up. So this is clenched here. And then take a big breath in. Exhale, let it go. Then make your way up to all fours. And then slowly make your way to a seat. We're going to stretch out our outer hips and thighs. So have a seat. So couple things here. My hips are super duper duper tight. I know my parents are probably watching this. So this is what I'm going to encourage anybody who also has super tight hips, which is genetic. So grab a blanket and sit on a blanket. It makes it so much easier than sitting all the way on the ground, because what happens here for me is I want to sit on the ground and then I round through my back, which is counterproductive. So get a little height in your hips and it helps lengthen your spine. So extend your legs out long. Again, think of yourself like a dandelion root. Okay, so I know that you are way down in the ground, which means you are rooted firm. You are super tall in your spine. When you've got that feeling right there, so you can feel it in your outer hips, you can feel it through your inner thighs, flex your toes, draw them back towards your face, sit up really tall, and then drape your chest forward. Again, caveat, I have really tight hips, tight hamstrings. I know a lot of people can lower all the way down to the ground. That's great. That's not me. So in my case, I have to use like 45 pillows. So there is no shame in the pillow game or the block game or whatever you need to do. Grab them. Bring the earth closer to you. So drape your chest forward. Notice how my spine is nice and long. And I'm coming forward. I'm hinging right here at my hips. I'm not rounding through my shoulders. I'm actually hinging with a nice long spine. That way the stretch is coming in at your midsection and it's not overstretching your shoulders. So grab as many blankets as you need. I actually theoretically could probably use one more to rest. This is where I'm going to hang out right now. We're going to be here for about 4 minutes. But I really want you to feel the stretch in your hamstrings and your hips and your inner thigh. And for me, even my low back. Just remember, as you're getting comfy and set up in this pose, I know I probably sound like I am repeating myself, which I probably am, but it is probably going to be the most uncomfortable in these poses within the first minute to a minute and a half. I speak from experience when I say that getting into these hip opening poses is not comfortable for me. It provides a lot of discomfort. However, over time doing them, it really has helped get for me and my flexibility and also in my strength, because I'm able to carry a little bit more strength because I've got a little bit more flexibility as well. So I want you to think about that as you're thinking there in your discomfort and you're sitting there and you've got your legs out and you're like, oh my gosh, how much longer is she going to keep us in this stupid pose? You are getting stronger. You are lengthening your body. You are clearing out things that you don't need by sitting here. Clearing out all the excess junk. You're weeding through, you're sifting through your garden, getting out all the stuff. And for this metaphor, we're keeping the dandelion. My dad is like, no, we're not. No. Dandelion's going. But Kate, no, the dandelion has to go. But pretend, if there's another flower that has a really super strong, deep root like the dandelion, then it's probably not a flower, it's probably a weed. So for this metaphor, we're keeping the dandelion. But I want you to think about this, that this is how you're getting stronger. This is how you're rooting yourself. This is how you're gaining that flexibility by sitting here in these poses, having patience with yourself, knowing that it doesn't happen overnight. That happens showing up to your mat, time in and time out. And that the hardest thing that you can do is show up. That's the hardest thing. That's the hardest thing is already done. You already got there. The rest is a cakewalk. I, for one, know how hard it is, especially in a busy house when there is so much stuff going on. And I have a laundry list of things that I could otherwise be doing all the time. To say, you know what, I'm going to take this hour and I'm not going to do any of that stuff. And I'm actually not even going to think about any of that stuff. Got about another minute and a half here. Keep breathing. Every single time you inhale, think about lengthening your spine, getting longer through your spine from your tailbone all the way up to the crown of your head. And then every single time you exhale, think about deepening through this pose, which in this case means hinging forward at your hips with this flat spine. And maybe you just find that you found a little bit more room to hinge forward. Continue to flex through your toes. Continue to round down through your glutes and your sits bones. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And although your whole body is active right now, I challenge you to soften through your face, through your jaw, through your eyebrows. Release your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Relax your shoulders. Maybe you even unclench and separate your teeth. And about 30 more seconds. Deep breaths. One more big breath in. Exhale, release. Nice. All right, so slowly come on up to a seated position. Slowly start to bring your feet together. All right, so I have two things that I want to do, and both of them require flipping back over from one side to another. So I guess we'll do this first. We'll work on our hips, and then we'll do our hamstrings last. So flip over again. Grab wherever you are in your space. If you have a pillow, this is just to support your knee. The pillow is to support your knee. So I'm moving my water and my wine so I don't knock them over. I'm going to place a pillow underneath my right knee. And then I'm going to extend. So both of my knees are bent, if you can see me. And I'm going to extend my right knee out and make sure that my right ankle and right knee are in line with one another. And my left knee is doing the same. So this is called frog pose. I'm going to back up a little bit so you can see me here. I'm drawing my right knee out. You can put a pillow underneath your left knee as well if you need it. But your legs are going to go apart. What I want you to make sure that you're doing, though, however, is lining your hips in line with your knees and then keeping your ankles and knees in line with one another. So imagine yourself like a frog. Grab your pillows, and then when you're ready, surrender down. Okay. This pose for me does nothing but scream discomfort. And it may for you as well. We'll be here for about 3 minutes. And before you start throwing your pillow at me, know that you're clearing out the stuff in your hips. Now you're working on your inner hips. You're lowering, draping your body forward in a different way. Try and ease up how much pressure you're putting into your forearms as you're lowering down to your mat. So if you need another visual, I'll turn to this side if that helps. I think this side has a better vantage point. So I've got my knees on pillows. My knees are spread apart as wide as they're gonna go. My hips in line over my knees, and my ankles in line with my knees as well. And then I'll slowly lower down. Relax my neck. Keeping in mind here that the first minute is probably going to be your most uncomfortable minute. Keeping in mind here that this is temporary. You can do just about anything for 3 minutes. So can your hips, so can your legs, so can your brain. So tell your brain that nothing bad is going to happen and you can do this. Again, if you're in pain, sharp, like stabby feeling, or numbness or tingling anywhere in your low back, your legs, your arms, that is an indication that your body is telling you to stop. But if you are just in an uncomfortable position, which frog pose is just uncomfortable for me in general, maybe you sit with what is uncomfortable. Send your breath to those areas in your body where you are feeling the most discomfort. And see if maybe at the end of this time, maybe you've alleviated just a little bit of that. Maybe you haven't, but maybe you have. Oh, there, lights are on now. We can see again. So you've been here for about a minute and a half actually. So keep smiling. I know if you could all access the chat on the side of your computer, you're thinking, Crystal, this is crazy, but I promise it's okay. Send your breath to your hips. Send your breath to your spine. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Opportunity right here to grab another pillow if you need one, to bring the ground closer to you. Maybe if you're feeling quite comfortable in this pose, you extend your knees just a little bit wider apart from one another. Maybe you search for that place of discomfort because you know that's when the discomfort starts, that's when the growth begins. So if you always do this and you never find discomfort, you're probably not growing. You've got 1 more minute. Keep breathing. And then when you're ready. So this can sometimes be a tricky pose to get out of. My suggestion to get out of this pose would be to come up to your palms first and choose which knee you would like to bring into your body, then choose the other. More than likely, your hips are going to want a little bit of a stretch. So take this opportunity right now, stretch through your right and left legs and your hips. Maybe you do a couple cat-cows, inhales, exhale. And now, got about 10 minutes left, maybe 12 minutes left. We are going to lower down onto our back. Grab your strap once more if you've got it handy. I'm going to do some hamstring stretches. So lower all the way down onto your back, and I want you to keep your left leg long. Avoid, I know this is super tempting to bring a pillow underneath your head, but I want you to avoid doing that for now, just so you can keep your spine nice and long. And then lift your right leg up and hook your strap on your right foot. Then this is what I like to do in my classes, is wrap the strap around my wrist a couple of times and then hold on to it. And then flex your toes towards your face, and then draw your right leg behind you. Your right leg may go here, may go here, may go here. That's fine. Wherever it goes is where it goes. And maybe you start here, and then maybe after a minute or two, you find you can have more length. So we're going to be here for about 5 minutes. Our legs have tons of muscles in them, and their hamstrings and their glutes are really, really, really big. So they can afford to have a little bit of extra time dedicated to them. So in addition to frog pose, the pose that we were just in, these hamstring stretches for me are like, I love to hate them poses. They are, oh my gosh, so uncomfortable. But at the same time, they're so beneficial. So what I want you to think about right now is, on top of all of the benefits that you're getting right now by being inverted in your body, think about the benefits that you're getting by lengthening, by stretching, by how much do we use our hamstrings every single day when we walk, when we move, when we go for walks, when we go for bike rides, when we're outside, when we're in our gardens, when we're doing all of those things, bending over, planting flowers, pulling the weeds. We're using our legs, whether it's to help us get up, whether it's to help us move around. My sweet dad, he just sent a text that he said he lost me in frog. He's done. Love you, Dad. He couldn't hang. Dad, you can stretch your hamstrings though. You can wrap your leg and lift your hamstrings. That'll be good for you. So you're about halfway there. So you're about halfway through your right leg hamstring stretch. So I want you to think about, or half your right leg up a wall if you want to think about it that way. But see where you are and see if you can draw your right leg, just maybe if it's an energetic feeling, but drawing it closer to your chest, drawing it closer toward the back of your head. Maybe it even goes just like not even half an inch, not even a quarter of an inch. Make sure wherever you are that your tailbone is really rooted down into your space, whether you have a mat or carpet or wherever you are. We've got about 1 more minute. And then where we are, go ahead and gently invite a bend into your right knee to remove the strap off of your right leg. Draw both knees into your chest just to give yourself a squeeze and kind of reset your right leg, give yourself a reset your spine, and then grab your strap once more. This time we're going to hook it around our left foot, extend your left leg long in over you. Right leg goes long in front of you. And then I like to do the wrap just because my hand gets tired after a while, so I can do the wrap like so. Again, maybe you find on this side that, holy moly, my left leg is a lot more or less flexible. That is totally fine. We are not robots. So we are not completely symmetrical on both sides. And maybe you find that one side is tighter, but once you get into it, you have a little bit more room to move. It's completely possible too. That my left leg sometimes needs a little bit more encouragement, but once it gets there, it's pretty flexible, more than my right, which neither one are that really that flexible. We're going to be here for about 4 more minutes. And then we're done. So the other really cool thing about yoga and yin, like restore, yin yoga. Okay, so actually yoga means union. That's what yoga means. It's not a religion. So it's a philosophy. And I love the idea of yoga being like a union, especially in this time, this weird time that we're in right now, where none of us are actually physically connected to one another. We're not hugging, we're not high-fiving, we're not seeing one another. We're not just really, other than like our immediate family, we're not in the presence of other people for any great amount of time. But how cool is it that we have yoga to bring us together, this union? And not only that, do we have this union of yoga to bring us together, but this kind of yoga specifically is accessible for everybody. So I am like tickled pink that I get my friends from Texas, some friends from California, some of my family in Washington. I have my family from my in-laws and my parents. We are all able to come together and do this class. Doesn't require a whole lot of skill. Doesn't require a whole lot, but some couch pillows and a willingness to maybe be slightly uncomfortable. So maybe in this time, we think about what we do have, and not only that, we have the time to show up to our mat because it's good for us, but it's also maybe it's good for our soul. Maybe it's good for our emotional well-being, our mental well-being, that we can connect with those that we care about. We can see, or at least some of you, so we can all stay connected in a really cool way. You have about 1 more minute. I'm almost talked you through this whole left leg extension. So keep breathing. And now in your last minute before we go into Shavasana, maybe find that energetic reach. Maybe you find that 1/2 inch on this side, 1/4 inch, something. So take 1 more big breath in, wherever you are. Exhale. And when you're ready, go ahead and bend at your left knee. Remove the strap. Bring both knees into your chest. Go as slow as you would like to go. Find a space on your mat, on your floor, wherever you are. And exhale, Shavasana. And I'll call you back in just a few. Wherever you are, bring your thoughts back to your space, back to the present moment that you're in right now. And stay still. Don't move anything just yet. Just take a minute to scan your body from your toes all the way up to the crown of your head. I say this every time, but I mean it every time. Scan your body from your toes all the way up to the crown of your head. And think about your body in your physical space, not about how many donuts did you eat yesterday morning or afternoon or evening. Not about what did you eat today, not about anything like that. You are thinking about your body showing up right now to your mat, to this space. That's what you're thinking about. And having gratitude to be able to physically appear right now, exactly how it's supposed to be. And then I want you to turn your thoughts inward to your emotional self, your mental self, your spiritual self. And what are you grateful for? What makes you smile in this weird time? What is it that keeps you grounded, like the dandelions, And what is it that keeps you soft, even with all of the harshness? What is it keeps your flowers still blooming? And what is it that keeps your roots still firmly rooted right where it's supposed to be? And just take stock of those things. Because those are the things that, when all of this chaos is said and done, those are the things that we're still going to have. For me, it's my family, my faith, my friends, the ability to have gratitude for movement, being able to have a little bit extra resilience in this time. So wherever you are, reach your hands up over your head and take a full body stretch. Reach your hands up high over your head. Take a big stretch. And then exhale, turn your body to your right side. Take your time getting there. And then when you're ready, press your left hand into your mat or to your earth or to the carpet and come on up to a seated position. And draw your right hand over your heart space and your left hand over your right. So I don't know who's here, but I'm going to take a gander that it's my in-laws and my parents, my friend Bethany, my friend Kate, and anyone else who's here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, each and every single one of you, for supporting me in this crazy online endeavor, but also for showing up, for setting your time aside of your day, coming here to virtually connect with one another and sharing this space. Bring your hands together and your thumbs to third eye center. Yes, Dad, even you. Shut down your eyes. So the teacher and student and daughter and human being and mother and woman and me is so beyond grateful for the teacher and the student and the human being and each and every single one of you. For you taking the time out of your day to show up, to move your body, to stretch your body, to find those areas of discomfort and then go beyond them and stick with it. So the light in me sees and honors and is truly in awe and in gratitude of the light in each and every single one of you. Namaste. Yay! Thank you, everybody. I hope you feel better. Hope you sleep better. Hope you have a great week. See you on Monday at 7:30. Bye.